Good afternoon, and welcome to the Real Men of Real Estate here on KCAA Radio out of Redlands. You can find us at 106.5, 102.3 FM, or 1050 AM on your dial. And we'll be coming to you every third Sunday at 1 p.m. So don't miss us. My name is Dan Redig. I'll be your host today, and I'm honored to have Lloyd Segal, president of the LA REIC and longtime real estate investor with me today. Lloyd, how are you?
Good to be here. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Matt, thank you for being here. This is exciting. I'm really looking forward to talking to you. So I know you started out in law and you have transitioned to real estate, but could you just take us through that journey?
Oh, good. That's always a good story. I haven't told that in a long time. I was working for a music law firm in Beverly Hills, Diamond, Tilem, Colden and Emery, and we were representing rock and roll people.
Oh, wow.
And I had signed an artist to a label, Nick Gilder, and he had a hit song called Hot Child in the City. So I got a big check.
Wow.
And my dad, who's been a real estate investor his whole life, and I rejected real estate, and my dad said to me, tell you what, I'll match whatever I think I got 50,000, and this is, oh God, 20 years.
That's a heck of a sum of money for, yeah.
And that was just my fee. Nick obviously got a lot more.
Yeah.
And my dad said he'll match it if I agree with him that we could buy a house in LA. And I said, okay. And so we pulled our money together, bought this house. I think it was like 100,000, and it was a rental.
Uh-huh.
I didn't pay any attention to it. And so Nick had a hit song, Hot Child in the City. And then the second song died, third song did so-so, fourth song didn't do it all. And so after about 2 years, Nick was dropped from the label.
Oh, wow.
I remember calling my dad, who was my financial advisor, among a lot of other things he did, and it was my partner, and telling him that my artist had just been dropped from the label. I don't know what I'm going to do. This is a horrible thing. And in the conversation, he's commiserating, but then he says, and by the way, how's the house doing? House. Someone's managing. House doubled in value, Dad, but you don't understand.
Oh my gosh.
But you don't understand. The artist, Nick, has been dropped by the label. What am I going to do?
Sure. No, it's you're mourning that loss for sure. Yeah.
Right? That's all I could think about. And he said, listen to what you just said. Your artist has no label. In the meantime, the house you bought 2 years ago has doubled in value. And
you didn't have to lift a finger.
Right. And it went from 100,000 to 200,000. The mortgage had been paid down. And look how good that investment is. And it was like, wow, a light went off in my head. And I literally transitioned from rock and roll, entertainment law, to real estate law that next day.
Wow.
Never looked back.
So what'd you get into then? More buy and holds or?
Oh, everything. Buy and hold, fix and flip, invested with my dad. My brother's also investor. Everything. I took every real estate course for investors there was. I took every course for lawyers on terms of real estate that I could take. I just went nuts. And within 6 months to a year, I had transitioned 100% into real estate. And that was over probably 25 years ago.
Wow. That's a pretty quick transition. I know most people takes quite a bit longer to get out of the W-2 or, employment situation. Wow.
No, it was easy.
Yeah, impressive. So from that point, what comes next?
I was buying little houses and fixing them up and flipping them, and the ones that were profitable, I would hold on to and rent. In the meantime, I wrote a book on, first book was on, bankruptcy, everything you want to know about bankruptcy, but we're afraid to ask.
Okay.
And then I wrote a book on I had a lot of real estate clients that actually were in foreclosure or behind on their payments and actually might lose them in foreclosure.
Mm-hmm.
So I usually write books based on what the needs are. and I saw there was no book in the marketplace that provided to help people that were in foreclosure. All the books out
Oh,
there
I see.
for investors, but there was nothing for the homeowner. So I wrote a book on Nolo Press. I wrote a book for them. They're out of Berkeley on Stop Foreclosure Now in California. And that book was really successful for people that were in foreclosure. Actually, I originally wrote it for lawyers, and it was 3 inches thick.
Yeah.
And when my agent gave
I think
it,
I've got that book actually.
thank you very much, it's purple. And I'd autograph it when you show it to me. My agent submitted to Nolo as a book for the layman for homeowners. They said, look, it was too thick. People wouldn't read it. They put it in the fireplace to stay warm. So they said, we'll pay you though if you'll go back and edit it for layman, which was another 1-year process. Really hard.
Wow.
I had to take all the law out of it, strip it, and just make it helpful for people.
Right. Turn it into the nuggets.
Right. And so we made it into a 200-page book instead of a 900-page book. It was longer than Gone with the Wind. And then I wrote another book on, and then American Management Association in New York saw the book and said, if you could convert this book to a national book, we will pay you money. And I said, sure, if you're going to pay me money.
Yeah, it sounds like a good deal.
We converted the book to national. It was called Stop Foreclosure, dropped the California. And at the end of the book, we inserted all the laws on foreclosure in every state.
Wow.
Yeah, that was great.
That's intense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So foreclosure, was that one of your primary strategies for acquiring properties?
Yeah, that's one of the strategies to buy.
Yeah.
And then I did my third book was I needed to transition to the other aspects of real estate. So then I wrote a book, Foreclosure Investing, so that I show I'm on both sides of the coin. I show people how to avoid foreclosure, and I show investors how to buy foreclosures. And then my last book, a couple years ago, was Flipping Houses, which was just a book on all the elements, all the facets of buying, of finding, buying, financing, fixing, and flipping houses.
Okay, and I know you teach that a lot at your real estate club as well. So I see the beginner real estate course on your website.
I'm working on a new book now, just the fundamentals of investing in real estate, just the fundamentals.
Fantastic! Wow, that's a lot. So we're kind of caught up to now. What kind of investing are you doing today? What's really kind of the most interesting thing you're working on?
Well, I flip. What I really look for now are multi-million-dollar properties that have been gutted, that are in the horrible shape that nobody else wants.
Oh, okay.
And that's sort of my wheelhouse, my focus are properties like that. And I usually get those from other investors. Is the lawnmower next door bothering you?
I can't hear it. We're good.
Oh, good. Okay, good. So I look for houses like that. But the pandemic came. When the pandemic came, I sold a house in Tarzana. It was a $2 million home property, half acre and a 4,600 square foot house. Great.
Wow.
And since that sold, I haven't had to work, but since that sold, I've purposely not tried to invest in any fix and flips because the market's overheated. Yeah. And in LA County in particular, a lot of lay people are willing to buy houses that need to be fixed and flipped because there's no other inventory. And so I've held off on that. So basically I've been spending my time buying small single family houses in the Sun Belt. Okay. So all throughout the southern US. Yeah. Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana. Right. Not so much Texas, Georgia. All right. Well, it's fascinating. And Virginia. Not down in Florida like everybody else? No. Okay. I'm a contrarian. Okay. All right. Well, so what's your basis for that? The Sun Belt is obviously more cash flow type environments for rentals, but is that the primary motivator or are there other reasons to be there? Oh no, it's cash flow. And I teach in my classes that you should use the 1% rule. So the 1% rule is that if the monthly rent needs to exceed 1% of the purchase price. As long as it does, you're going to have positive cash flow. Now, there's only certain cities where you can find that. Certainly not in Los Angeles. Certainly not in San Diego.
No, definitely not.
But you can in the Sun Belt, the cities like the cities in Georgia and Mississippi and Alabama and Arkansas.
Are there any particular types of properties you're targeting there then?
Single family residence, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, where there's a turnkey company available to operate it. I want to be an investor. I don't want to be a landlord. I don't want to deal with the tenants. I pay someone to do that.
Got it. All right. That's certainly the easier way to do it. Those phone calls can get annoying, and they always seem to come at 10 o'clock at night.
I don't get any phone calls. I don't know who my tenants are. I do, but
yeah,
I have no communication with them. We charge fair rent. We don't raise it very much, maybe max 2 to 5% a year.
Mm-hmm.
And we keep the properties well maintained, and I have really good management companies.
All right. Keep it. Yeah, just keep it moving easy. All right. Well, in just a minute here, we're going to have to pause for a station break. So you've done a lot. That was really fascinating. I learned a bunch about you. So thanks for sharing. And folks who are listening out there, come back and join us here after these messages. We'll be back back here on Real Men of Real Estate and KCAA Radio out of Redlands.